Music is exciting every time. What's up, YouTube viewers on the WPTV News YouTube channel? Thank you so much for joining us for Panthers 360. We have a very special guest today. Pleased to announce Jessica Blaylock, the television host for your Florida Panthers Script Sports broadcast. Jessica, first of all, thank you. I know you're in between games, but thank you so much for making time out of your busy schedule for us.
Thank you so much for having me. I always love talking Panthers hockey.
Oh, who doesn't, right? And you are with the team. First of all, for those that might not be extra familiar with your broadcasting, how long have you been with the Panthers now in this role? And you get to sit next to Jovo. What a treat.
So I have been with the Panthers overall for 11 seasons now. This is my 11th year of covering Florida Panthers hockey. Started out sideline reporting exclusively, and over the past couple of years have transitioned into the full-time hosting role. So yes, truly blessed to be able to do what I do, and working with Ed Jovanovski and Goldie and Randy and Katie. I mean, we have so much fun covering such an amazing team. So definitely sitting on the desk with Jovo. We crack up all the time. Love the broadcast, and so grateful to be a part of it.
The chemistry is incredible. Watching you guys is such a treat. So let's talk about the chemistry of the team that is right now this version of the Florida Panthers. We're early on in the season after a big home win against the Dallas Stars Saturday night. What have you been able to see up close and personal with the team, where they are right now, and what we could see out of this upcoming road trip as well?
Yeah, I think what you've seen early on in the season is a team that is still continuing to figure out their identity without key pieces like Alexander Barkov, Matthew Tkachuk, Tomas Nosek, and Dmitry Kulikov, and now having to play, right now without Jonah Gadjevich, which is still just a wait and see what's going to end up happening with him. So when you take key components out of your lineup like that, especially players like Barkov and Tkachuk, who touch every single aspect of the game, it takes time to figure out what you're ultimately going to look like. And I actually talked to Sam Bennett about that the other day. And he said, he expects the whole season to kind of be a process of figuring out what the team's identity is going to look like. So I think the first handful of games, you really just saw maybe a little bit of inconsistency in the sense that they won the 3 at home, then they had an overall kind of tough road trip, able to finish it off with a great win in Boston. And now the past couple of games, you've seen them kind of get back on track of what has really defined their identity over the past couple of years and why they've been able to be so successful. A strong defensive game, right, and utilizing the forecheck. And so I think it's now 4 straight games for the Florida Panthers where they only allowed 17 shots on goal in regulation. And so that's a very, very impressive number, which just speaks to that defensive identity. And I think the one thing you're really seeing them try and work on a little bit more right now is how to add a little bit more offensively without subtracting from that defensive identity.
Yeah, when they really get the forecheck going and keeping it in their zone, that is a sight to see. And fans of the last 3-4 seasons are like, that's the Panthers teams we know. And yeah, once they get it churning, and of course Coach Paul Maurice is happy with that too. It must be a treat to see that, up close and personal with your role. So within your role, and we're still all pinching ourselves here too at WPTV. And by the way, fans, I want you to get your comments in on this YouTube Live on the WPTV News YouTube page. You're still saying, do you believe it when you say it? Hey, you're back-to-back defending Stanley Cup champion Florida Panthers. What does that mean to you, being with the team so long? You've seen the ups and downs, but when you say that, is it still special?
Oh, absolutely. It will always be special, especially when you're considering, there's so much parity in the NHL, and there are no easy outs. I don't care if you're the top team in the league or the last team in the league. Every night it's a battle with every single team around the league. And so it's not only so difficult to get to the playoffs, but it's so difficult to get to the Stanley Cup final. And the fact that the Panthers have done that multiple years in a row and won in back-to-back years, it's such an impressive accomplishment. And I just always come back to gratitude, and especially when it comes to the ownership. Vinny and Teresa Viola have backed up everything that they said they wanted to do. They said they wanted to bring a championship to South Florida. They've done it. They have shown long-term commitment to players who deserve to be rewarded. They have poured into the community. And so I always think about how lucky we are as not only, somebody who covers the team, but for fans, how lucky we are to have ownership like the Violas, to have a general manager like Bill Zito, who is brilliant and seems to always make the right move. That always works out. And players who love being here and who go to battle for each other and care more about the other players' stats than they care about themselves, and feed off the fans, and have talked about the importance of the relationship with fans and having them in the building and that home ice advantage. So, I mean, there's just so many things to be grateful for, and so many positives to highlight when it comes to this team.
Yeah, at Panthers 360, we like to really get a all-encompassing view of the Panthers, and as we're talking, we're rolling video of the parade, one of the past 2 years, take your pick. But Jessica, have you seen with this, just a awesome two-time Stanley Cup champions, and even making the final year before, have you seen a resurgence in the growing of the sport of hockey in general here in South Florida? Not only what the Panthers do, but what the team gives back as well. There's so many events now, right?
Oh, no doubt. I mean, you drive around and everywhere you're spotting Panther flags at different establishments and businesses. You're seeing Panther stickers on the back of cars. Goldie has talked about this a lot, and I completely agree. People recognizing you and wanting to talk Panthers hockey when you're out grocery shopping, which I absolutely love. I always want people to come up and say hi and talk about Florida Panthers hockey with me. And there's just so much excitement, right? And you think of, for so long, the state of Florida referred to as a non-traditional market in the league. And now the state of Florida is the defining area of the standard of hockey in the NHL. So I think it's been really exciting to see this transition of how the Panthers were kind of an afterthought in the league for so many years, and now they are the standard bearer. They are the destination that players want to come to. They are, the measuring stick when every team comes in here. They're measuring themselves up against the Panthers.
Getting their best shot.
Yeah, with the Cats being back-to-back Stanley Cup champions.
So we're talking before this started, Jessica, and you and Jovanovski, Mr. Jovanovski there, that you stay at home in the home studios, not on the road with the team, but still part of the broadcast of each and every game. Your game day routine, do you have superstitions? What do you eat for breakfast? Take me through your game day routine when we're getting ready for Cats hockey in the evening.
Yeah, game day is pretty much always the same, barring an earlier puck drop or back-to-back games, because in that case we would not have a morning skate. But I wake up, I pretty much eat the same thing for breakfast every day, a little egg white omelet with some coffee, go to morning skate, we get everything we need, talk to players, talk to coach, get all the information for the game. I come home, and I know players like to take a little afternoon nap, but my mind is just always running. So I can never nap on a game day. There's just too much that I'm thinking about in preparation for the game. So I come home, I work on my notes, I do all my game prep, relax a little bit, have something to eat, start getting ready, head to the arena a couple hours before the puck drop, settle in, and then we take off. And so superstitions tend to come out a lot more in the playoffs than the regular season. But if I ever see 11:11 on the clock, I always make a wish that the Panthers will win.
There we go.
We are going to win that night. That's my little thing, is if I look at the clock and it's perfectly 11:11, I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to be a good night. This is going to be a good night.
This is going to be a good one. Okay, now we're really getting to know you here, but we know that you are an animal lover. You have some in your household. We're all a fan of Benny's Buddies here. We've showcased that on Panthers 360, but your personal connection with some doggos in your house, and they're superstars, am I right?
Well, what's funny is if you've seen me fiddling around during this interview, it's because I literally have one of my babies on my lap with me. So this is Mario. I rescued him when he was actually 15 years old. He's about 17 now. And what's really amazing is November is Senior Adoption Month, and so just helping bring awareness to the fact that sure, there's a lot of young dogs in the shelter, but there's a lot of guys like Mario as well. And having him for the last 2 years, it's truly been amazing to see him just kind of come back to life. Obviously he is an old man.
Aww.
Like everybody can tell. That little tongue gets me every time. But just getting to love him and see just the progress that he's made even later on in his years has been truly spectacular. So I always encourage, adopt, don't shop, because there's so many animals in need of a loving home. And especially in the month of November, I encourage everybody, don't forget about the old guys too.
Yeah. Mario loves the cuddles. I love that. And I love that. Listen, you could have a great show, great game, great week, but anytime you do an interview and you're able to get Mr. Mario in there and showcase them. Jessica Blaylock, thank you so much for your time out of your busy schedule. We look forward to you on the broadcast and all the Panthers games this year. You can catch her on the Scripps Sports broadcast as she is your host for the Florida Panthers. Jessica, we'll get you out of here. I want to tell you, everybody, that you can still comment. We'll get your questions and concerns all on our WPTV News YouTube page. And listen, this will live there for a while. Every Wednesday night, though, 7:30 p.m., South Florida's 9, that's when you can catch our Panthers 360 broadcast. But every Monday, it's your lunch break, 12:15, just like we talked with Jessica Blaylock here. We'll be bringing in an analyst to include with our Panthers 360 show. We're so glad you joined us for this. This is Panthers 360. Have a great rest of the day. See you later, Jessica.
Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Bye-bye.